I'm here to explain in this video about intents in Android development. So before going to intent, let's learn what is activity, then we'll go to what is intent. So basically activity is nothing but a page for the user. So a non-programmer says one page activity, one page application. So as a programmer, we say single activity. So one page is called an activity, and multiple pages together contains an application. So let's see in detail. So we know this is the Instagram page. So here we need to enter the email ID and password. So after entering email ID and password, when we click login, it navigate to the second activity. So this is the first activity of the Instagram. Second activity is this. So this is the second activity. So whenever I click on the messenger, I'll get another interface or UI, that is third activity. So in this way, multiple activities together forms an application. So now let us see what is an intent. So intent is nothing but navigating an information or taking the information from one activity to the another activity. So let's see. So we have an data in the first activity. That activity information is transferred to the second activity. So this information is taken to the third activity. This process is done using intent. So intent takes the information from one activity to the another activity. So we have two types of intents. So that is explicit intent and implicit intent. So explicit intent is nothing but taking the information from one activity to the another activity in the same application. So we know Instagram. So Instagram, from login page to the front page, it takes. So this uses implicit intent. What is explicit intent? Implicit intent is from one application to another application. So what all I enter here, this information is taken to another application. This is called implicit intent. So now let us see how this intent works. So create a new Android empty activity. So name it as intent demo 1. So select language as Java because we are going to work on Java. So new activity or new application is getting ready. So let our Gradle get built and then we'll see how it works. So our application is ready. So in this application, the first activity, we have main activity and activity main.xml. So in this, we will create a login page where we have two plain texts and one button. Okay, so fix the edges so that it does not move when we run the application. And let's make our work easy by renaming the IDs here. So edit text 1 is the first ID for the first edit text, and second will be text 2. So let's rename them. So meanwhile, we'll go to the coding part and let's change the name to the hint so that we get in the form of hint. So let's keep it as first name, and in the similarly hint, let's keep it as second name. So first name and second name. So let's see in design, we got the first name and second name. So now let's go to main activity. So in main activity, we'll create an objects for them. So that is, we have edit text. So let's keep it as first name comma last name, and we have one button. So button, let's keep it as button. So now we'll call them using their IDs. So f name equal to find view by ID r dot id dot text1. So basically we are setting the ID for the first name, that is edit text1. So for this we are setting the value using find view by ID. So we are finding value by ID. So what is the ID we have set there? That is edit text1. Similarly we'll create for last name, that is find view by ID r dot id dot edit text2. Now we will set for button equal to find view by ID r dot id dot. By default button has an ID called button. Now we will set an on click listener. So basically on click listener is nothing but when a user clicks on the button, it need to listen to the user. That means it need to perform an activity. So setting on click listener that navigates to the next page or whatever the activity is assigned to that button. So button dot set on click listener. So we are setting an on click listener to the button. So new view on click listener. So whatever we give in the on click listener, that performs when we click the button. So when you click on view on click listener, so I'll show it again. So whenever you type new here, you get a suggestion by the Android Studio. So view on click listener, just when you click on this, it automatically generates the code. So in on click listener we will get these values, that is f1 and f name and l name, and we will convert it to string and store in one variable. Okay, so how to get it? So we need to get from fname dot get text. So we are getting the text message from the first name dot, we will convert it to string because we are storing in a string variable. So string, we'll store it in data1, okay, anything. So in the similar way we'll get l name dot get text dot to string. We'll store this in the another variable, that is string variable data2 equal to, okay. Now we will call the intent. So intent equal to, okay, before taking an intent we'll create another activity. So that activity we need to create, right click here, new, and activity, empty activity. So we'll create this as second activity. So just finish, need not to change anything. So whenever you create a new activity, you get one XML file and one Java file. So this is one XML file and this is the another Java file. So in the XML file we'll just drag and drop to edit text. So and by default their IDs has been set as, this is edit text, we can see here, and here we can see text2. So if we want to change the size, just in search bar give size, you can change the text size as 30 sp, and similarly you can change for this as 30 sp. Good. Okay, now let's make it more interesting by taking the values from one activity to another activity. So we'll call them intent equal to new intent. So we need to get the application content. So we need to get this application content. So where we need to take this application content, what all we are giving is to second activity, right? So second Java class. So we will just give it as second dot class. So from this activity, we are taking the activity using get application content and taking it to the second class. Okay. Now let us put some values. So how to put values is intent dot put intent dot put extra. So I need to put some extra value or some ID to represent that in the next activity we will get the data using this ID. So of data 1, right? So we'll get the data 1. In the similar way, intent dot put extra s2, that is data 2, right? So now we will start the activity. We have already set the data in intent, so just we are putting the values to s1 and s2. We will receive using s1 and s2 in second activity. I'll show how it is done. So let's start the activity. So start activity, or which activity we need to start? Intent. So we'll initialize it intent. So start activity intent. Now here we will go to second activity. So as fast as possible we'll call the edit text. So text views. Text view will give it as name comma, will give it as name comma okay, name 1 and name 2. Okay, now we will call the name 1 equal to find view by id. What we have IDs as dot id dot text view. So for the second one, name 2, we have r dot id dot text view 2, right? So id dot text view 2. So we have already set the IDs for them, call the IDs. Now we will get the intent. So we have put the intent in the main activity, we'll get the intent here in the second activity. So intent of intent equal to get intent. So we are putting intent in the main activity, we are getting intent in the second activity. So that is intent dot get string extra. So we have sending the data in the form of string, so we need to get in the form of string, right? So get string extra, putting and getting, that's all. So now we will call the same data or ID what we have given here. So we have given s1 for data 1, s2 for data 2. Same thing we'll do, and intent dot get string extra will give it as s2. Now we got the values, so we cannot directly display the values after we get, we need to put it in some other string. So we'll put it in string n1 equal to intent. In the similar way, we'll keep string n2 equal to intent. So now we will put these values in the edit text. We need to display in both of them. So name1 dot set text, which text we need to set is s1 here. So sorry, n1. So what this do, I will explain. So we are setting the values here, that is put extra values. So data 1 and data 2, we are getting the values here using get string extra s1 and s2. This values what we got, we are storing in n1 and n2. So we are displaying this n1 and n2 here. So using set text, that is in the field of name 1 and name 2, we are setting the values. So name name 2 dot set text, that is n 2. That's all. So in the first text we set the first name, second text we set the second name. In main activity, let's keep one toast message for our satisfaction. Toast dot make text. So what shall we make text is data sent successfully, comma, we need to set the length of the toast, so long, so dot show, okay, comma, okay. Hope this toast message will comment it. First we'll see how the code is running, then we'll set the toast message. So let's see. So meanwhile we'll go to some other topics in Android. So let's see some good topics, no, such as broadcast receiver is also one of the important topic. So broadcast receiver is nothing but when an activity or when an application has some request, it need to display to the user. So that work is done by this broadcast receiver. So simply low battery is there, incoming call, incoming messages, or whatever, all this request is sent to a listener. This listener listens and send to the user. So this listener is called as broadcast receiver. So broadcast receiver is also one of the important topic in Android. So yeah, our code is ready. So let me give it as Solomon and second name is as Raj. So US Solomon Raj. So when I click the button, you can see the data we received here is transferred to the second activity. So we'll make it little more interesting. So this is the video, this is the how the intent works. So in the second activity, so let's drag this and drop. Okay, let's set one more activity, edit text. So let's put the size as 30 sp and we'll connect this and we'll give the node to as welcome. Okay, so now we will run this, rerun the code and see. So let me work on this, terminate. Yeah, so name, first name is okay. We got the toast message also, so I'll show it and finish and run the program finally. So toast message, make toast, get application content, this content, comma, data is successfully, so data sent successfully, and length we are setting here and show the message. So just let me run this, show the output. So first name Solomon, and Raj is the second name. So when I click button, we can see data sent successfully. So we got a toast message and we got the data to the second activity, US Solomon Raj, welcome. So this is not properly aligned, we can align it accordingly. So this is about intent, how it works from one activity to another activity in an Android Studio. I hope you understood. Thank you.